Hi all, so my name is Samantha Circelli. I will be talking about what I wrote about for our case for Capstone 2 on diversifying Aetna. So just to give a little snapshot as to what this case was specifically geared towards, we looked at Chief Diversity Officer Raymond Marcos, who is meticulously preparing a presentation on Aetna's diversity factors to give to the board of directors at a mid-December meeting. Due to some economic downfalls associated with a global reach, the company has come to a crossroads of figuring out which business initiatives are needed to be cut or not in order to keep the organization afloat. So Raymond will be pitching to these individuals the reasons behind supporting the diversity initiative with an inclusive of the positive outcomes, its assistance to the global theme, and a higher rank in the competitive pool. Raymond has the capacity to make those significant changes for Aetna in terms of diversity efforts and objectives, but will his presentation be enough to compel them, and what will make him have a strong winning argument? So for my position statement, in my humble opinion, I believe that Aetna's benefits greatly with the inclusion of the diversity initiative, and they celebrate their diversifying union by under the appreciation and value of their individual differences. This inclusive environment establishes a workforce that can perform at a potentially higher rate than others in its competitive pool. And it also sees diversity as more than just a general definition under gender or race. They see it when they find the background, training, experiences, and identity just as important. With this in mind, the best way to meticulously present this information in order to persuade those individuals into keeping this diversity initiative would be to really focus on the benefits of the workplace/workforce diversity, the stakeholders diversity, and the alliance that they have between the professional and the community-based members. So prior to focusing on Aetna's direct initiative at hand, it would be crucial to understand just a little bit about what their history is as an organization and how they came to be. So Aetna's Healthcare was founded on May 28th in 1853, and they're a company who expanded itself across the globe with huge impacts of diversity in HR and the associating roles individuals play in order to keep the overall performance at an all-time high. Aetna's healthcare network includes almost 5,000 hospitals, more than 843,000 healthcare professionals, and more than 490,000 primary care doctors and specialists. So to get more specific on the context of diversity in accordance to the organization at hand, out of 35,000 employees who work for the organization, around 31% of them are people of color and 76% are women. So to break this down even further for a better perspective, people of color hold 16% of management or supervisory positions, while 11% of those individuals hold a senior leadership role. Under the demographic of gender, women hold 64% of management or supervisory positions, while 30% are in senior leadership roles. So these measurements are just a few of the superior enactments that they have conducted to keep them as diverse as possible. So with this, you look at the central keen focus on their core values, which is centralized around embracement, empowerment, and engagement under the Aetna Way theme. So for more than 35 years, Aetna's diversity initiative has rooted several key ideas into its unique organization, value, and business strategy. So why try and take it away? So under key challenges, Aetna faces two key challenges that could become a destructive factor to both the organization as a whole and the salvation of that diversity initiative. So the first of which would be the global and domestic economic conditions that have been taken a massive toll in the 2008 capital market crisis. And the second of which would be more specifically on the stake of incremental costs that would be associated with saving this initiative. These initiatives are obviously not free in the slightest, but that money allocated towards them could place some serious investment in the company's long-term sustainability. Aetna also has a historically adoptive method that becomes very persuasive with, given the current destructive economic conditions, could become something of a bad source, as these questions could become all too valid for a reason to cease without contemplation. And then finally, we have our diversity benefits, as I will speak more in detail about in my case. But one of Aetna's biggest competitive advantages is their diversity within their management strategy. Throughout the analysis, Aetna presents crucial diversity practices that have assisted to increasing that value and mission of the company, while also propelling them into a global standpoint. These significant practices are found at workforce/workplace diversity, suppliers diversity or stakeholder diversity, and finally the community and professional alliance diversity. So to take the focus towards Aetna as a general sense, there are a few recommendations that I believe could exponentially be successful if the organization chooses to follow through. The first short-term idea would be to revisit their traditional recruitment system. Even though they've been trying to one-up their competitors with those of which they're hiring, they begin to look unstable in the eyes of their communities due to that constant need for change. If they revert back to their old ways with the traditional form of systems, they could make potential employees see that this crucial organization values sticking to their roots, which could result in a more diversified panel of individuals. Second short-term recommendation could be to create diversity training opportunities. With this type of movement, Aetna could create its own culture that will support the Aetna Way theme that they hold dear to their hearts. It could help the organization reduce that complexity from minority groups while simultaneously producing more commitment on a company-wide level. The final recommendation that I could come up with for a more long-term effect would be to properly use the LAMP framework for future Latin management issues. Aetna has done a great job with adhering to complex diversity complications, but they seriously require better assistance. This framework will assist leaders quickly to incorporate those significant risks, returns, and costs in a logical model in order to educate stakeholders, customers, and employees of those weighted outcome or results. In other words, it would help show that these assets on the cost/benefit partnerships are needed on a community-related organization. Just a few final remarks. Aetna has pushed itself to the top of its competitor ranking and enlisted a notion that diversity is definitely a key factor when it comes to working on a global and local level. It's a mindset necessary if you want your organization to aspire for greatness. If Aetna's board chooses to continue with the diversity initiative, Aetna will drive massive forces towards an engaged and motivated organization for all. With this continuation of the LAMP framework and the MCC ideas and some of those short-term recommendations that I talked about in the previous slide, Aetna is at the forefront of success and will shine with efficiency in whatever aspirations they desire to acquire for. So I thank you guys so much for listening to my little snippet here on Diversifying Aetna, and I hope you enjoyed, and I also hope you enjoy my actual case, my written case. So thank you so much.